Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today, we're going to be talking about the full moon in Cancer, which will be exact January 6, 2023 at 4:07 p.m. Mountain Time at 16 degrees of Cancer. This is our first full moon of 2023, and I'd like to say thank you so much to my subscribers. You're helping me make this channel happen, and I really appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about this moon cycle. Cancer is ruled by the moon, making this full moon a special one. It is during the Mercury retrograde this year, and the sun will be conjunct Mercury in Capricorn and opposite the moon in Cancer. This is going to give us a chance to collect our thoughts and find the words that we want to speak from the heart. And this lunation will also be sextile Uranus, which will create exciting opportunities for new development. So I'm going to start shuffling and we'll talk a little bit more about how it feels. I'm going to be using the Santa Muerte Tarot along with some Oracle decks. So how does it feel to me? I think this moon feels like checking in with your shell status. The fourth house of Cancer is the house of home and what you make of it. So right now, what is the status of your emotional shell? And what is, how does it feel? Is it emotionally burdensome? Is it heavy? Or is it light and fresh and new? Or perhaps your shell is a little worn down at this time in need of some love and self-care. And like the crab, sometimes it is just time to molt so that you can develop a healthier shell for yourself. So I'm going to cut the deck here. The bottom of the deck, when I cut, I've got the Knight of Wands. We'll see how that comes into play in this reading. So checking in with your shell is like taking in your car to the shop. Maybe the repair or damage was worse than you thought because of negligence, perhaps. If so, now is the time to do that deep maintenance that has been neglected. The same can be said for your actual physical surroundings as well as your body. Taking time to nurture your containers of life is what is needed at this time. Also, being thankful and grateful to have a roof over your head and safe transportation can be ways in which to find peace within your spaces. For example, I had no running water for a few days in my home last week, and never have I ever been more thankful for functional plumbing than now. So how can you lend a hand to others who could need help with their shell at this time? I think that building safe spaces and habitats for others is like being the architect and the mother at the same time. And this is the gift of Cancer. So we're going to be focusing on emotional wellness and eliminating triggers and responsibility. Eliminating triggers and responsibly pinpointing areas where changes need to be made and communicating those in a mature way focused on growth. Let's see, we're going to take 2 I Ching cards. So go ahead and watch for some of the shadow sides of Cancer, which could be codependency, overgiving, or perhaps being an enabler. Overall, it is a good time to focus on your inner life versus your outer life, making circumstances for others and for yourself more comfortable. This Cancer moon reminds me of the song by Tom Petty, where he says, "You don't know how it feels to be me." So a lot of people could be going through some things right now, and it is a good time to have extra compassion. So let's see what we have here. At the beginning, I saw the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands, and that means that we may have just been out and about a lot. There could be some connections to fire signs right now. You may just feel like being more playful after the first of the year. Maybe you aren't quite ready to go back to work yet, but you still want to get out there and meet new people and start off this year with a bang. Much with Jupiter being in Aries right now, we are feeling that extra spark. So that could be really nice. All right. The main energy I have for the reading is the 8 of Pentacles. Past energy I have is the 7 of Cups. Present energy, I have the 9 of Wands. And the future energy I have is the Queen of Swords. For the archetype deck, I pulled Tante. And we'll talk a bit about more of that in a second. For the animal spirit card, love it. I pulled the golden egg. The Moonology card I have is communication is key, new moon in Gemini. And the two I Ching cards I have are number 56, the Traveler, and number 38, diverging interests. So what does all this mean for the Cancer full moon? Well, with the sun being conjunct Mercury right now in Capricorn, that is putting us in the mood, hopefully, to work. With the Eight of Pentacles, it says that we are going to be focusing on doing better and better with each round that we try something. So if, say, speaking from the heart isn't your biggest gift, then you're going to try it, and then you're going to try it again. And with each time, you're going to get more comfortable, much like if you are making 8 plates, the 8th one should turn out better than the first one. So staying focused, seeing where Saturn wants to have you focus your attention right now, this lunation, having it, the sun be in Capricorn right now, you may feel that extra Saturnian energy, and we have Saturn in Aquarius right now. So completing the work, you may have to do it in a new and different way if you're having to do it over again. But hopefully with this Mercury retrograde, you're getting your thoughts collected and you aren't having to redo, much like how we felt at the end of last year. And at the end of 2023, you may have had some confusion. There could have been just a lot of options going on for you. And in the beginning of the year, you have to decide what is going to be the best path for you. So there could be multiple choices right now. And if you're trying to fill in the right circle and you aren't sure which one, then taking some time out to decide what that's going to be, instead of perhaps going out and just creating more confusion for yourself, maybe it is a better time to slow down and wait and see until we get all of the answers in. A lot of times it's a little difficult to make a major decision in the middle of a Mercury retrograde because we, in fact, do not have all of the answers yet. And I do believe that here at the end of the month and moving into February, things will be a little bit clearer. Our Moonology card here says communication is key, and that, in fact, is the truth. When we have Mercury conjunct the sun, there may be a lot of things that are just coming up on your mind. So be sure that you have your thoughts straight, however, prior to communicating, as to not create any extra confusion if there has been some. But I'm seeing this time as perhaps your list maybe even getting longer than it was last week, because now we're back to work and it could just feel like the list is super long and you have a lot to do. And if that's the case, just, put your nose to the grindstone, as the saying goes, and just knock things out. So making an organized list, knowing how to delegate tasks. If you have too much on your plate, it is important to not just continue to try to grind it out, but to be the intelligent leader and to say, all right, this task is yours, and then I'll do this one next week after I complete the short list, and communicating in a way so that you can accomplish what you want to in the new year without getting stressed out. So trying to keep it light, although there may just feel like there is a lot to say right now, is going to be important. And like we said, speaking from the heart, we have the golden egg here. This is the heart chakra card, and it speaks of there being an unstruck sound deep within the heart, that when we slow down and we pay attention to what it is, there is a special message coming through right now. There could be just some messages as it pertains to which decision you want to make. Following the heart in your decisions is going to be likely more satisfying than following your head at this time. But just be sure that your head and your heart are on the same page. So if you have to make a key decision before Mercury goes direct, that you're doing so with as much information as possible. At the bottom of the deck, I have the King of Pentacles. So we may also be talking about those money topics at this time. How much do you have in your case right now? And how much would you like to have in your case? much like that game show. If you don't have the case you want, perhaps you can turn it in for a better one. Just need to be aware of not taking any big risks right now, and to just get a handle on how the end of Q4 treated you so you can make some better goals for yourself here coming into the new year. All right, let's read a bit about our archetype card here. It says light attributes, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Shadow attribute, pretension to too much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So yeah, I guess if you are going to be going out there and trying some new creative things in the new year, we had that Knight of Wands at the beginning. If you feel like rushing out there with that Jupiter and Aries energy and say trying some new projects, signing up for some courses, maybe a painting course or doing some crafting, just know that it is for the fun of it, and it doesn't have to be the best in order for you to enjoy working on it. Don't make what should be fun into something stressful just because you don't necessarily feel that you're the best at it. You could be looking around and thinking, wow, there's some people around me that are really successful. We have the Six of Wands here, and that would likely be you if you put in as much time and energy as other people have in the same realm. So being focused on those new goals for yourself and giving yourself the time to develop the skills. And at the end of the day, if you are just not feeling it, being honest and wielding your sword in a positive way as to not become a little bitchy if things get kind of busy here. But regardless, I think it looks like a great start to the new year. So let's read a bit about these cards that I pulled from the I Ching. Interestingly enough, when I did the New Year's readings, 38 did come out quite a bit. So I find that to be interesting. Also, we did have number 56 come out as well. So those seem to be pretty popular energies right now. And I'm going to read about what they say. Let's see here. This one says the Wanderer, also known as the Traveler. All right. Seasoned travelers know that special decorum is called for when venturing far from home. They must develop a more yielding personality so that their local contact or host can open doors and pave the way. Inwardly, the wanderer knows that it is sometimes difficult to discern the intentions of strangers. Are they hostile, friendly, or merely opportunistic? The twin houses of mystery and discovery rule any journey we take. Each day is launched on a fresh landscape, one that reaches out to grab our attention. Travel is a great teacher and a great equalizer, and there is an art to living on the road. Increased caution and discernment become keys not only to survival, but also to success. If you're entertaining a new environment, like we discussed, if you're working on that shell or moving into a new shell or creating space for yourself, be sincere, flexible, and undemanding rather than stubborn. Get rid of attitudes and habits that can encumber you or your space, for that matter. The onset of a great journey is not a favorable time to enter into binding agreements, such like we talked about with the Mercury retrograde right now, or to start new enterprises. And although being the wanderer offers you a certain freedom from being judged by your history, you also have no history to fortify you. Pay close attention to local customs and honor them. So if you're planning for some travel this year, that's some tips for how to be in somebody else's space, how to honor somebody else's space by not bringing your issues in there, leaving your issues behind, leaving them back into 2022 and being the seasoned traveler, the new traveler into 2023, and not bringing that excess baggage with you could be very helpful, especially if you feel like you have a lot on your plate. Just if it's time to go on a vacation, just to leave the work at home, because it wouldn't be a vacation otherwise. Let's read a little bit about number 38, and then I'll take the changing lines between the two cards. All right, number 38. This does talk about differences between families when you move away from home. And so if you are looking at sharing your space with new people, this could be an interesting card for you. It says, diverging interests. Some level of estrangement is indicated. For example, when brothers and sisters choose partner and marry, they often grow apart, since their allegiances prioritize new families. Though they will remain close enough to deal with problems and interests related to their original family, they are less likely to undertake great projects together. Simply put, when people grow apart, even for the most natural of reasons, their points of view, values, interests, and schedules diverge. Different natures and interests bring into opposition the world of human affairs. If opposition drifts into alienation and anonymity, good results are few, if at all. But when opposition takes the form of healthy competition, or when it is recognized as part of the natural order of things, good fortune is still possible for the relationship. When diverging interests make a situation seem stagnant or futile, remember that there are always creative possibilities inherent in polarities. One is reminded of the interplay of opposites, yin and yang, to which fundamentally is life itself. As the symbol of Tower illustrates, the yin and yang each have the seed of one another residing within them. If opposition has its roots of principle, you must hold to your integrity and individuality, much like here, the King of Pentacles. Let go of vulgar or self-absorbed people who do not share your values. With both people and companies, one measure of stature is the quality of one's competition. So if you're in a bit of a competition right now, I did split the deck and get the Six of Wands. So I feel that there's going to be success here. I think that it's going to be very important to have strong boundaries in order to create that success from the inside out, so that your inner world and your outer world are in harmony, much like the yin and the yang. And let's take a quick look at the changing lines of number 56 and 38 to see the special message between the two. Okay, so we have changing lines 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So the only one that isn't changing is, let's see here, line 4. So I'm going to read 56, line 4, and we'll see what extra insight that gives us. All right. There is a predicament for the traveler who takes up temporary residence in a strange place. Even though the traveler has managed to acquire a safe haven, she must remain alert because she is not fully in harmony with her surroundings. She may like where she has landed, but in her heart, she is still unsettled, for she has not yet arrived at home. And wherever you go is basically your home. If you feel safe, then you go somewhere else. Likely you will feel safe. But if you leave feeling unsafe in yourself and you go somewhere else, maybe there you will also feel unsafe. So much like the adage, wherever you go, there you are, I think that this time frame really comes with a lot of what you make of it. So be very aware of your container, much like the turtle, and to care for your shell if you need to. And if you're in somebody else's space, be sure to care for their shell just like you would your own. And be sure to have those strong boundaries and work hard here in the new year. Well, I wish you all a lovely new year. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. It does really help me grow as a channel. And I will be back soon for the new moon in Aquarius. Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot. And don't forget to check out my 2023 All Signs predictions video. Have a blessed and beautiful day.